Heyo guys, welcome back. My name is HM and I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. And if you're new here, the Swarm welcomes you. And happy October, guys. This is my favorite time of the year. I love Spooktober. I'd say cue the lightning bolts if I had better editing software, but I'm recording on a camera, but cue the spooky bats flying, etc, etc. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. Let's go ahead and actually get this black light out of here and revert back to our normal stuff. And get, wow, whoo! I've had that black light on for a while, guys. Anyway, gotta let my eyes adjust. I wanted to do a bit of a deck profile, because we haven't really done deck profiles on the channel before. And we made a deck quite a while ago on stream, and I wanted to show it off just to see what people's thoughts were. And just as a disclaimer, these decks are never something that's super serious. I use these casually against my friends, so this deck is very not meta. It's very goofy. There's a lot of one-offs in here because I don't have playsets of certain cards. So, with that little disclaimer out of the way, I want to show you what Bakugan I'm using in the deck and what the main game plan of the deck is. So, this is our deck for now. The Aquosmantinoid is probably going to be replaced with a different Aquos Bakugan, but I don't know what we're going to use just yet. So, first off, I will show off what we're definitely using in the deck. First off will be our Haos Mantonoid Ultra. And I'm super excited to use this. It's not, like, by any means super good. The thing that I do like about Mantonoid, though, is it double cores very easily. It'll usually flop on its back, and it holds on to cores very, very well. So if I can actually get this to double core, it's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and put that back over here. But it is rocking a 503 stat line. Definitely not very respectable by any means, but if it's double coring, it can potentially break 1,300, and usually the best, like, I guess, flat line kind of bonus in this game right now is usually above 1,400 to 1,500, so I definitely want to use this one just to try it out. And, of course, next up is our trusty Bug Boy. We have our Platinum Elemental Sectonoid that we customized. Of course, you know I gotta use him because he is the star of our bug deck. This is a bug-themed deck, so I really do want to emphasize, if we do replace an Aquos Bakugan, I want it to be a bug. So I think Centipod is like our only other option, because I'm not sure what other Aquos ones we have. But Platinum Sectonoid is rocking a Orange Shield and a Magic Shield. It is 107, so it's very, very low if you don't land on the cores necessary. So your game plan is to land on the Orange Shield and then pick up the Magic Shield. Unfortunately, you won't get the Magic Shield effect, but you could always land on the Magic Shield and pick up another. So there is some gameplay to this. If you manage to double core, though, that's insanely good. This thing can be potentially one of the best in the game, which is awesome. Double cores are very rare, though. I'm going to put these over to the side, just because our Nanogon cards are under here, too. And lastly, we have our Aquosmantinoid Ultra, and this one, like I said, is probably going to be replaced, but I do not have an Aquos Bug Bakugan, and all I can think of is, like, Centipod, or I don't know if Barbetra got an Aquos, but if you guys know any Aquos Bug Bakugan that could work in this deck, please let me know, because I'm looking for replacements. This one has a 403 stat line. The reason why we chose the Haos one is because it has 100 extra B power and the same lineup, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into our Nanogon. Now, we're already running into a deficit here because all I can get off of this one is the plus 200. We don't have two orange shields. So, again, if there's an Aquos Bakugan that brings another shield, I think Centipod might do it, I'm not sure. Let me know, because that could be really good. We've also considered Aquos Web Ultra, but its Evo and its stat line is not very good, and its Evo kind of requires you to use Aurelus if you want to play it, because it makes it 2 less. But that is one of our Nanogon for now, until I get something else. Next up, we have Nano Siphon, which works perfectly with our Haos Mantonoid. Now, if you land on a Magic Shield, you get to add a shield. I'm sorry, add a core. And if you have a Green Fist and a Magic Shield, you get to, why am I blanking on that? You can steal a core. Sorry, blanking. Yeah, this is very good, honestly. Like, this is such a good Bakugan, or a Nanogon. And lastly, we have our Clutch. And I also cannot use this one to its potential either, The only reason it's in here is for the reroll, just in case. But if we have a, maybe a Shield and a Helix Bakugan, we can actually rock this. So, either way, we still have Nanogon to figure out what we're gonna, like, actually put in here. So, if you guys know any good Nanogon, of course, you'll notice they're all, like, bug-like Bakugan, too. Or, I'm sorry, Nanogon. So, again, bug deck. That's kind of what I'm going for. So, that's all I got right now for the Nanogon and the Bakugan. So, we're going to go ahead and move into the deck. I'll tell you what the deck does. And it's got a very weird playstyle to it. Like I said, there's a lot of one-offs in here. But the idea of this deck is to energy ramp and to get heroes out for either free or much less. And there is a lot of stuff that can be changed around to do that. But our main game plan is to get Leah out. And Leah allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you find a hero card in one of those top 3, you can play it for free. It's a 4 cost, so, I mean, it's expensive, but that is why we have Strata. And I want to get, like, at least one more of these, but it makes your heroes cost 2 less to play. So, Strata is very good for this deck, because the idea is to get as many heroes out as we can to play this. And this is a very expensive Evo, I already know. But if you have 3 or more hero cards in play, you may play this for free, and that is going to be happening a lot. I've only got 1 copy of this right now, so once we get at least 1 more copy of this, I'll be definitely sticking with it. And it's not even the craziest Evo. I mean, 1108. The best that this would be hitting would be, let's see, 1750 if you land on a 650 Magic Shield, which is still respectable. But if you double core, that can go up to, like, way higher, like 23 or something. So, I mean, it's decent, all things considered. It is a year 1 Bakugan, so it is a little bit on the lower side, but double coring is very easy with certain ultras. But with that being said, the reason why that's going to be easy to play is because we are going to be running 3 Wyntons, because Wynton is going to be our big play card in this deck for ramping. We have a lot of energy-based cards in this deck, so when you open a Bakugan, you may energize the top card of your deck, which is super cool. And he will pair very, very good with our new pulls from our booster box that we opened a little while ago. Sorry, this is a lot of speaking very quickly. You may play this for free on the first turn of the game, which is really cool. And if you energize 2 cards in a turn, give a Bakugan plus 500. So just having 1 Wynton is going to allow us to hit this 500 bonus, which is super cool. That's really going to help out our lower Bakugan. We have 2 of those in here, which is super cool. And Wynton, having multiple Wyntons out is going to have us really ramping for energy. So if we want to really, like, maximize on Wynton, we are going to play 3 deep dives. You can draw a card and you may re-roll your Bakugan for 1. So we can kind of spam this, draw cards, and re-roll, and also get energy at the same time, which is super, super good. We have a lot of cards in here that are going to give us energy. This one in particular is actually super, super good. And it doesn't allow you to get, like, energy charged, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it would be really good if it, it let you. 4 cost, you must re-roll your Bakugan. If you open on the re-roll, you may energize the top 2 cards of your deck uncharged. Then plus 100B for each energy card in play. That is really good. Also, the re-roll helps if you have Wynton out. Because if you open, you can energize 3 cards. Well, energize 1. Actually energize 1 charged, and then the other 2 uncharged. Sorry, this is my first time doing a deck profile. This is a lot of reading, but I do understand what the deck wants to do. And to pair with that, we have Teratomic Overdrive. I would put another one of these, or even 2 in here, and replace them with our standard B boosts, because this is really fun to pair with it. Plus 100B for each energy card you have in play. So if you have, like, more than 3, this is already really good for your energy costs. I mean, actually, no, it is decent. You'd have to have quite a bit of energy for it to really be worth it. Because your what is the energy cost? Sorry. Trying to think here. I think it's 200B for every 1 energy or something? Maybe it's 100 for 1. I can't remember the curve to it, but that is a very good card. I really like that one. It could be really fun to get a play off of. Okay, we are actually reaching our 10 minutes. Let me restart this really quick. Okay, I had to take a little bit of a breather because I'm speaking very quickly and I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that I need to say in this deck profile, because there is a lot of random things that this deck can do, which is super fun. But again, lots of one-offs, and we're going to go over some of the one-offs that give us energy. And we have a Terran Vitalizer, which is actually a very, very good card. It can be attached as a second Baku gear, which is really neat. And then when you play this, draw one, then you may energize a card from your hand. Already pretty good. You get 200 B power and 2 damage for it, for 4 cost. We're going to probably place some gear reduction cores in here, because we have quite a few gear. I actually was really enjoying gears the last time I used them. Let's see, what other... we actually don't have all that many gear in here. I put a couple in here specifically for the armor rating, and Crest Stormers seems like a pretty decent one. It's 4 cost, and it gives you bigger boosts. But when this flips from your deck, you may pay 2 energy to draw one. So it's not a complete loss if it gets flipped. So it's a very good defensive card. I don't know if I'm going to throw more of these in here when I get more, but that is pretty awesome. Our other gear is Glimmering Glaive, which is also another very solid pick for gear. It's 4 cost as well. It's 400 B, but the kicker is, when you play it, you can attach a Baku core from the field to one of your Bakugan, which is really, really good. This is amazing support for older Bakugan. Granted, like I said, this is not a meta deck. This is a super fun deck that I just want to play against my friend. No need to get super serious about it, because I'm definitely not going to. I just want to see my favorites do cool stuff, and this will enable them to do some stuff against his stuff, which is cool. Anyway, next up we have Lightburst Cannons. We actually have 2 copies of this in here for the same reason. It has gear rating, which is cool, and when it flips from your deck, you may pay 2 energy to put this into your hand. So, again, flipping it is not a bad thing, because you can actually put it in your hand and choose to take the rest of an attack. Or, you know, you accidentally... I shouldn't say accidentally. You take all the damage you can, and this might be the last one you flip. And you have energy for a flip that you haven't played yet. This could be the thing you use it for. So, this is already pretty decent. I'm noticing a lot of 4 cost here in this deck. So these are very... I guess these would be considered 2 cost with gear reduction cores. But we have some other interesting things that we play around in this deck. We have 2 stealth mode. And I wanted to try this because it seems good. Plus 300 B and recharge your energy cards, and if you have 7 or more, it's plus 800. So this is kind of it can be an early thing, especially if you want to like play certain things again. And then if you have turbo, this is a very good boost. If you have boost, this is a really good late game kind of card to play too, because it's a good boost save, and you also get your energy back. So if I had both of these in my hand, this would be kind of nuts. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that this deck can do. Lots of little boosts from other things, but as we have other B boosting stuff, we have Energy Draw, which is just a decent 2 cost for 500. Not bad at all. We have 3 of those in here. And then we have the tried and true Nature's Power, which is always super effective against anything that is not Ventus. So 1 cost, give a non-Ventus Bakugan minus 500. We've got 3 of those in here. And let's see, what else haven't I done yet? We haven't looked at Swamp Trap. This one is really good. It's 4 cost, right? But it allows you to negate an action card. No energy restriction. It doesn't have to be anything like, I think, what's it called? Ink Spray or Blinding Ink. I think that has an energy cost that it has to be below if you want to negate it. But this one allows you to also recharge up to 4 energy cards, which is really good. So we have some energy recharge based stuff in this deck too, which is kind of neat. Lots of situational moments, but I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Clairvoyance, right. Better Skies Him. This is going to help us out with Leah. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back on top of your deck in any order, and you may pay an additional 3 energy to draw 1. So I guess you could pair this with Leah, and you could see if she's coming up, and you could essentially look for your hero cards, right? And then pay 3 energy to draw them, maybe at like the end of a turn, and then have them for the next turn, which is really good. So you don't have to say that card is 3 turns away. You can actually put that right on top and then draw it next turn. I really like this card. This is just a better Sky Sim. 3 energy to draw, though. That is kind of a steep cost to pay, but that allows you to see it further into your deck maybe to set up a flip block, if it's there. I don't know, I really like this card, so we're going to run it. The original idea was to always be able to see what cards were coming next in the deck, and then play them for free with Leah, and if I was running Pyrus, I could Super Fuel or Air Zero them out. But I really wanted to try Aquos, so we're going to stick with the Aquos kind of play style. For our flips, we don't really have too many of them. And like I said, this is I built this so I can kind of play against my friend's deck, because I'm not going to go throwing like specific blocks in here unless I have them. And I don't have any of the meta ones, so we just put in a couple that will block attacks from him, since his whole deck is like primarily flip cards. So I want to make sure I have the flips that I need to block. So this is Arliss, Darkus, and Pyrus. And those are 2 of the 3 that he uses. Next up, we have the Power Crept kind of flip cards. I only have 2 of these. I would be running more of them if I had more. 2 cost for block non-Ventus and non-Haos, and then the other one is non-Aquos and non-Ventus. So these are very solid. And then for our gimmick flip cards, we do have some of them, because I find these really fun. We have Bakumoves. If you have flipped 3 or more cards this attack, block non-Haos, and you may play a hero that costs 5 or less for free. So anything in our deck, we could essentially see if this is coming up with Clairvoyance, and then put it like right at the like 3rd card. Unfortunately, thinking about it now, this might not be the best scenario, because if you were to use Clairvoyance and put it as number 3, no, actually this would be good, because yeah, 3 or more. So yeah, this actually does work. That's actually a really good combo. So we could potentially play this. I keep bumping the camera. And then our last flip is Cubbos Rules, of course. 0 cost, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put them back on top of your deck in any order. Another great pair for Bakumoves. So yeah, this deck is very niche, and it's by no means meta. But seriously, guys. Oh wait, hold on. We have one more thing. I forgot. We have 1 Ventusdestruction. This is for our gear cards. This one's pretty good. It's very costly. Minus 900B, but it costs 3 less to play if you have a Baku gear in play. So that's good. I'm still debating if I want to play more of those, because we do have a deck centered around like gear and energy ramp and hero plays. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can kind of change around. I definitely want to change around the Mantonoid. We're going to keep the Haos one, because I like that one a lot. Our Nanogon are also up for like change, because I don't know, some of these really don't work with what we have. They're kind of in there to counter other Bakugan and other decks. It's kind of shield centered, so if there's any other like bug Bakugan that you can think of in these factions, I don't know what clutch comes in. I don't know if it comes in Haos or Aquos, but we could always kind of switch these around if it would work. But that is definitely a conversation for the comments. Guys, if you have any ideas, please let me know. Again, I don't want to keep repeating myself too much, but this is a non-meta deck. Try to keep the theme in mind. I want this to be a bug deck. Heck, I'd even be willing to swap out the Sectinoid for a different faction one, maybe an Aquos one, and that could be our Aquos, and then maybe we can play a cool Ventus, like we could play Webum. Oh man, that's actually a good idea. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. This is my first deck profile, so I haven't really spoke. See, I'm already like stuttering. I haven't spoke this much on such a large scale for this, unless it was like a stream. So guys, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to become one with the Swarm, please subscribe. We're going to be doing probably more of this a little more often. Maybe some other stuff, because unboxings are getting to be kind of expensive, but I do want to go on hunts just as much, because we got to find that Prisma Dragonoid. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.